Today, I'm going to go over an update to changing from light mode to dark mode. So currently, I'm doing this with a media query. And what we're going to do is update it with a color scheme. Hi, I'm Mike Collins, and I created this style sheet back at the end of last year. And since then, there's been many changes in Bubble and in CSS. So the first thing, if you haven't done so or already, or if this is your first time, let's go to the settings, and we want to go to General, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, and expose the option to add an ID attribute to the HTML elements. Make sure that is checked. And then hop over to plugins, and you want to add a plugin and search for classify and add that. You don't need to do anything else with it for now. It can just sit there. So if we look back on the preview page, you'll see that in the styles, Bubble has already taken what we've put in our color styles and written some variables for them. And that's what this --cc success is, surface background, and these are the colors that I've put in. This is my neutral. In this case, I'm calling it gray, but I could call it neutral. These are the clamps that did last time, the last video. I'll link that video at the end of this one. Now, this is interesting. These are the colors again. They've included them again. And they've done them in RGBA and RGB. So RGBA is red, green, blue, and alpha. So the alpha is a percentage of the color. And I did play around with the AI page, and it created an AI page, and it added some colors to my color variables in the style panel. And I deleted those, deleted the page, but they are still in the code. So you want to be careful of when you're creating your style, your colors and your style, color variables in your styles, because it looks like that if you create a bunch and then you delete them and then create some more, that you're just going to keep adding. It's not actually going to be deleting, even though it comes out of the editor. So you want to be careful of your namings and your colors. Like, I added these all at once because you can't rearrange them, and I really want to see them in order. But I can easily change these. This is a warm gray. I can easily change it to a cool gray by just changing out the hex code color. Okay, so how am I going to be updating this? So let's go to the style guide. Let's go to the style sheet, and this is an HTML element that I dragged onto the page, and then within it is the HTML editor, and I've been building my style sheet in here. And so all this part, the clamp and these H1, H2, H3s, those were all in the last video that I'll link. So here you see that it says default colors light mode, And if I scroll down, we see the media query that I have for the dark modes, preferred color scheme dark. And what I'm doing is picking up what's already written by Bubble in these variables, and I'm just reassigning the color to what will be the dark scheme. And so by the end of this, we'll be able to get rid of most of this. The only thing I'll leave there for now is this SVG, which relies on a filter. So my SVGs for logos, they all are black on the light mode, and I'm filtering it when it goes to dark mode to make them sort of an off-white. But I will try to see if I can make this a variable and then be able to do the light dark color scheme. So the first thing I'm going to do is add color scheme in my root. And we used to do light dark, but you could do dark light depending on, if you style everything in dark mode, then you would do dark first and then light after that. And the reason that we're doing this is some people have an issue reading dark text on a light background, and it's easier for them if you switch it, and they will set their system or their browser to be dark mode as their preference. And what better way to ingratiate yourself with a customer is have it automatically show up as the way they prefer. It's a subtle and more of a psychological thing than an actual thing that they go, wow, they really care about me. They probably won't even notice, but it'll make their usage of your app a whole lot easier. And so this first one, this body color, the FA, that is my background color that I have set. I'm going to save this on the page, and all the groups don't have a background. So what it's doing is picking up that FA. So if I did set a background, say to this red, update the page, and then drag the page down, you'll see that it's white, or actually it's FA behind there, behind the red on the top and the bottom. And that just annoys the heck out of me. So that is why I do that, is so that it's a seamless background. You're not distracted by something else. So let's go back to the style sheet, and let's make our first change. So in the background color, what we're going to do is put in, because we're doing light, or I'm doing light first, we're doing light hyphen dark, and then open parentheses, close parentheses. And so my background, if I look on my inspected view, I'm going to do the CC hyphen background. So I'll copy that, that in here between the parentheses, and then type var, new parentheses, after the closing parentheses, comma, then var, open and close. Let's put our close in for the main parentheses, and we'll do hyphen hyphen cc hyphen gray hyphen 950. And so that is going to be our dark mode color. So before I save that, since it's already has a media query in it that is picking up all this stuff, I'm going to comment out this whole thing so that none of it changes while we're going through this. So I've just updated that, and let's check out what the dark mode now looks like. So you'll see that it has turned the background dark, but all our text is still dark, so you can't read anything. Cards, fine, but those are too light. So let's go back to our style sheet. And I'm going to put in what you would normally put in, which is color. And then light, dark. And we'll do var gray, oops, hyphen hyphen cc hyphen gray hyphen 50. Nope, that's the opposite. But we can leave that there. Let's turn this back to light. Go back to our styles, and let's look for the text. So the text isn't here, but it is here. So it's a different format than our hyphen hyphen cc, but we can copy that, and we come back to our color light dark, and we'll paste that in the first position, and we can leave the gray 50 for the dark mode. And for everything that we're putting in our style sheet, we do have to put the important flag in there. Let's save. Go back, because what Bubble does is not only they have classes, but they also do an inline style, and the inline style overrides the classes. And what we're doing by putting the important, we are saying that our style overrides everything. So let's look to see if that made any difference, which you will see it did not. But I am including it in there just because if I have an HTML element in it that I do not assign a style, then I want it to show the correct colors. So let's inspect our H1, and you'll see that bubble has class, bubble element, text, and then this sort of gobbledygook. Most of the text elements have text. So our H1s are what are supposed to be paragraphs. Our H2s have text. And we want to make sure that we're using the same capital T EXT and when we're targeting it, because if we use all smaller case, then we're not going to be able to get it to do what we want. It's going to think it's an additional style. So let's scroll down. We can put it right here. So we'll do dot text or period text, open squiggly bracket, close squiggly bracket, make space and paste what we've done up here for color. So now what we should see is that most of the text changes. And it does. So there's a few things, like there is something here, which is a link, so we'll have to deal with that. We'll want to deal with the backgrounds of our inputs, and then our cards, and our color chips, and the logos. So I'm going to take the I'm going to take the my card. Oh, well, I'll show you that. So our my color chips are using the ID attribute. We're doing curly bracket, add class, colon, space, open quote, my card, close quote, close curly bracket. And this is what the classify plugin allows us to do, is to assign our own style to an element. And so that my card also controls the cards. So the background of the card, which is the surface. So in the style sheet, I'm going to move the my card pop-up, select button out of our media query. And I'll put it down here. And in front of the var that's already there, I will put the light hyphen dark, open parentheses, close, and now I want to put in, so that's light mode, so I want dark mode, so something dark, so we'll go gray hyphen 800. Oops, I gotta put var Open parentheses, close parentheses. So now if we save that, look at that, we should see that the cards now have a darker background instead of the white. And should be same thing for a modal. Yep. But of course there's some text and some icons in here that aren't getting the new colors. So let's go down. So we did our body, we did our cards. We just have my shape. Can't really remember what that is, but we'll take that out. Actually, you know what? We'll leave that in for now. It is using text color. So I'll remove most of this. So we're not having any color conflicts. So now our logos should be showing up. Yep. So there are the logos, there are the icons. Still have to work on the link. And that icon's good. This is not. This is one of the new buttons. Well, I say new. The updated button that has icon and label button. So I'll work on that. But you kind of get where this is going. So again, all I've done is add color scheme, light, dark, and a link to this MDN article or reference on the light, dark, the new version. And as you can see, it's newly available, and it's in all the browsers. So if somebody has a really old browser, it might not work. But you can test that, and people will let you know. So I can remove this. And the reason that it's been done this way is so that you don't have to, I had two bodies. I don't need two bodies, or I shouldn't need two bodies. So write things once to try and use it as much as you can instead of writing it multiple times. And so we can take and change some of the things that have colors already, and we don't have to do, in the case that I've done it here, really dark on the dark mode and really light on the light mode. You can do any sort of colors that you want. So that's it for this one. Thank you.